We are back with Ariella Rink, of course, entomologist and insect expert at large. And we're talking about insects that weave silk. And our lines are open and we're taking your calls on 08391333728. So we spoke about a whole range of different kinds of insects that spin silk. And then you mentioned that spiders aren't to be included into this massive group. They are silk spinners on their own, right?
Yeah. And they use silk for a wide variety of purposes. So the most well-known use is to make webs, obviously.
Yes.
But webs aren't just pretty orb webs. You get them in all sorts of shapes and sizes. You get some spiders called bolus spiders that don't even use silk for a web. They make a sort of a... well, it's called a bolus, like a big glob of really sticky silk at the end of a line.
Of spit, if you will.
Yeah. And then they emit the pheromone or the smell of a female spider.
Yes.
And that, a female moth, and that attracts male moths to them because they think that he has a female moth.
Oh my word.
And then they swing the bolus and they catch the moth, and that's how they get by.
So they send like a smoke signal, like, hey, daddy, here I am, and then male moth comes around and they catch them that way.
Yeah.
That is most fascinating.
And different species have developed smells akin to those of different female moths, like of different species.
Yes.
So, and that's a kite spider. They're really, really pretty. Different species have vastly different appearances, but they've all brightly coloured and have this weird box-shaped abdomen.
You watch a video like this and it completely blows my mind because some people like to make say things like, oh, you got a bird brain, kind of likening the proportion of the brain to the human body or to the body saying you've got a small brain. But you think nature's so wonderful. Where did the spider learn to do this? Everything is almost perfectly symmetrical. And so you said this is the?
So that's a kite spider.
A kite spider. What does it use its web or its silk predominantly for? Just
okay, so that's that's like a classic orb web making spider. And probably, how it develops is, spiders, individuals that have variation in the way that they do the web, those that make successful webs get to pass on their genes. And so eventually, it becomes more and more refined process. Through the generations.
Yeah, and you were telling me that it's not all spiders that spin webs. Some of them don't need them at all. Yeah,
you get fishing spiders that literally catch fish. They'll stand on the edge of a water body and literally just catch small fish. No web, no silk involved. Jumping spiders as well will hunt down prey and then very accurately jump and catch them. But they use a line of silk as a safety line. So if they jump over a ledge or something, they can pull themselves back up.
It's like a bungee jumping spider.
Yeah. Other spiders just use silk to make little homes to retreat into at night.
Yes.
And also baby spiders will let out lines of silk that balloon up into the air and transport them up to hundreds of kilometers away.
Wow, the fascinating world of insects, spiders, all wonderful creatures that weave webs and use silk in their daily lives. It's really, really wonderful stuff. So do give us a call. We've opened up our lines if you are curious and want to know more about these wonderful forms of life. Give us a call on 08391333728. Still lots more to come on your Feel Good Breakfast show. I don't know, maybe Leanne and Zoe have encountered spiders in their homes. Have you, ladies?